Hey everyone, it's Brianna McNerney here with your Tuesday tip. Today we're talking about how to move through sadness and despair when you feel like you're drowning in it. Which is so common for people, especially during this time of year. And these are trying times in our country, in our world. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty flying around about what life is going to be like moving forward. There's a lot of loss going on right now for a lot of people, whether it be personal losses or, the icons that we've lost throughout the course of the past year. There are a lot of things to be sad about, and sadness is a very natural thing that everybody experiences. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of widespread support out there or information about how to effectively use it to your advantage, how to move through it as quickly as possible so that it doesn't keep you drowning. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because anyone who has known me for a long time knows that I'm prone to these places of sadness and despair. I've been suicidal before. I have spent days, weeks crying over breakups. I've spent years self-medicating grief, especially with drinking, a lot of drinking, heavy drinking. But luckily now I've learned how to move myself through sadness so effectively that it does not keep me down for sometimes years. It used to keep me down for years or long periods of time, and now it's much easier to move through. So hopefully I can help you get there as well. And so why don't we look at this more as a society? Starting there, I think that a lot of times we get caught up in anxiety and fear. Instead of taking the time to honor what's going on with us and actually acknowledge what's going on with us when we feel sad, we'd much rather keep going, keep running our wheels, keep doing what we think we need to do to get X outcome that we want to do, and we can keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, waiting for things to just change for us because we've been doing all the things that we should do, or continuing to run ourselves ragged doing these things, and hopefully we'll get paid off in the end, right? Well, how is that working for you? Keeping the positive face on and keeping on with the do, even when you feel like you're drowning inside. How is that going? Because my guess would be that it doesn't feel very freaking good, that it just builds up over time and it feels harder and harder to deal with, and it feels more and more like you're struggling and suffering in silence alone. It feels very lonely. But honestly, everybody feels this way sometimes, and there's a time and place for sadness. It's a natural human emotion, and it can really do a lot for us. It can help illuminate what we want, what we care about, what we need to feel better. All the answers are there if we can only turn towards it and look at it rather than turning away. Honestly, this stuff needs to be expressed. If you keep holding sadness and despair in and pretending like it doesn't exist, it will store up in your body. It will cause you to become physically ill. It will cause you to become mentally strained. It will impact your relationships. It will stay there. It's not going to go away. It will build up over time and get more and more difficult to handle. So please, I am begging you to take heed to what I'm telling you right now and consider a different approach if you haven't considered this approach already. Because if you don't express this stuff, it will keep you feeling unworthy, unloved, broken forever. And nobody needs to feel that way, though it's very natural to feel that way. We all feel that way sometimes. It's part of the human condition. So I just can't get that across to you enough. The good news is, though, when you learn how to feel into difficult emotions like sadness or despair, when you learn how to stop and Don't give in to that anxiety of keep go, 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 go to push things forward and your timeline. When you can learn to turn around and experience the depths of the emotion that's going on for you and being really upfront and honest and vulnerable with yourself, even just with yourself about it, the deeper you go, the more joy you'll be able to feel on the other end of that. It's kind of like emotional weightlifting. You increase your spectrum. Every time you go to a new depth and release something new, you will expand your whole worldview in a very noticeable way, not only for you, but for all the people around you as well. So how can you actually do this? How can you actually move yourself through sadness and despair so that you can expand your whole worldview? You can have a positive impact on everyone around you so that you can naturally move through these times without being totally sidetracked, blown off of your course altogether. How can you stop yourself from drowning? So I'm going to give you 2 action steps for this, okay? Because they're both very important. The first is that, first and foremost, take the time to stop and honor what you're feeling. Take the time to stop and validate what you're feeling, because whatever it is that you're sad about, whatever it is that you're grieving about, whatever it is that you're despairing over, it is totally valid. Anybody would feel that way if they were in your shoes. I guarantee it. You need to stop, take a look at it, maybe you journal about it. Maybe you listen to sad music or watch a sad movie and really feel into what's going on for you. Take the time you need to feel what you are feeling. Lean into it rather than leaning away, and validate it for yourself, because everything is normal. Everything is normal. Everybody feels this way sometimes. And then the second part, this is very, very important, is to set your eye on the prize. Use the contrast of the difficult time that you're experiencing to highlight what you want moving forward. Even if it's not something that's very specific, what do you want to feel instead? Do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel cared for? Do you want to feel highly valued? How do you want to feel? And what would feeling that way give you? Really what we're doing here is we're creating a light at the end of your tunnel, okay? Create the light that you want to move towards, because that is going to be the North Star when you're feeling like you're drowning. And you can say, I know that this is totally okay for me to be upset about this right now, and it's totally natural. But I'm also going to keep in mind that this is temporary. I'm moving towards a light at the end of the tunnel, and even if I don't know exactly what the road is going to look like, I trust and I believe that it is possible for me to have that outcome that I want, and I trust that I am supported by greater forces, that everything is working in my favor, even if I can't see it right now. Keep your eye on that end of the tunnel. Figure out what it is like for you. What would you want to feel? What do you want to feel? And bonus points, is there anything that could help you feel that way right now? Maybe you would feel amazing if you took a bath, What can you do for yourself that will refill you, that will give you the space to release whatever it is that's holding you back, so that you can move forward after you validated the experience you're having and you figured out how you want to feel? Find a way that you can give yourself a little taste of that right now. And if that's feeling difficult for you to do, please, 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 please let me know. Leave a comment below. You can email more personal questions to info@briannamcnerney.com. It's totally, confidential and password protected. It's just between you and me. And, obviously, I would love to help you move through some of this. Energy healing is something that can be really powerful in moving through old, stored up emotions. I love helping people move through stuff like this, and it's totally, totally possible. So, please leave a comment. Let me know how this video was for you. I would love to hear your experiences moving through the drowning sensation that can be despair and sadness. I hope that this was helpful for someone today, and I'm just sending so much love and success to you guys throughout this winter season. I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.